And we can answer the question of why we're doing this show, because
buckle up, boys and girls. This is going to be a nice long video. Here we are at Destination Dallas. Now, this was a week before the Olympia. We traveled there. Daraja and I decided to do this show. It's a qualifier for the next Olympia. We'll explain a little bit more in detail about what we're doing. But this is Destination Dallas, and I had never trained here before. It was honestly a hike. We were staying in a place called Las Colinas. That's where the pro show was, but we took an Uber, which was like 30 minutes. So probably not going to go back here based on just location, but they had a lot of cool equipment. It'd be a fun place to have as your home gym. A lot of neat stuff, including a posing room. So this is Tony. She was my other bikini pro doing the show. And then Haley was actually here too, my NPC competitor. I don't know if I got footage of her, but the goal here, one day out from the show, Daraja and I got in on Thursday. So just get in a light little circuit, stay busy, do some posing, fine tuning. You guys have heard my spiel about the day before the show. I really believe with food going up, you want to train a little bit, drive all those nutrients into the muscles, get some blood flow. And plus, these ladies are athletes, so I really like to keep them moving the day before the show. The fatigue is way down, right? I've already dropped all their cardio. I've dropped all that stuff. So this is just the posing room, getting a look at Daraja here and Tony, comparing them. Now, Tony's tie-ins are in, but I still feel like we need to come down a couple pounds. The reason she and I decided to do this show is because with her work schedule, her competition window is very small. So this was one of the few shows that we can actually get in, and then we're going to be right back on stage at the beginning of the year. But I was very excited for the changes that I had seen in Daraja since earlier in the year. She had gotten married. We had done all the things. So it was going to be a good opportunity for us to get on stage and get feedback from the pro judges prior to the Olympia. And Freddie Naidu, who runs the Battle Up Productions, always puts on an amazing show. So I'm going to ask Daraja here some questions about her makeup. All right, what phase are we in now?
we're almost at the end. Obviously, I don't have lips on yet, but I just need my mascara, waiting for the lash glue to dry.
All right.
And then we eat and tan, and then the lips go on last because I don't want to
eat, tan, and we'll do some update.
Yeah.
All right. So there you have it. Just like to get a little feedback from Mr. Raja. She does her own makeup, which I think is a huge benefit. It's a big part of the stage, and she has gotten so good at it. I mean, look at just stunning. And this is our first full look with hair, makeup, tan the day of the show, and I think this is a significant improvement over our look that we had for the Dallas show, which she won, right? So I was very happy. Conditioning had improved significantly, and that's the goal. And let's get a little more feedback. Well, guys, we're back in Texas.
We're back in Texas.
Literally, we're staring at the same exact venue that we were here for in,
yeah.
Was it August we did the Dallas Pro? Yeah,
August, yeah.
Yeah, so just good vibes. But there's something very different about this week because last show I felt like we were barely pulling it together at the last second. Like,
it wasn't this usual like flow that we normally have.
Yeah.
Not really anything that was, I think, at the fault of either of us. It just, there was a lot going on this year. I got married, and trying to balance all that. I mean, I knew it was going to be a challenge, and it was.
Yeah.
But now that I've had these last few weeks to just focus on the mission, things are coming together. We can answer the question of why we're doing this show, because I think we both have gotten questions about like why I'm doing this right before the Olympia.
Yeah, but which always confuses me.
I mean, honestly, if you don't understand it from a strategy perspective, then sure. But we've been doing this for a few years, and we know this is the last show to qualify for next year's Olympia before the end of the season. So, you know, to give us the opportunity to take a longer break, regardless of what happens at this year's Olympia, if I can get qualified today, I was gonna say this weekend, today, then I can take more time off for next year.
So this is literally the only qualifier until April in the United States.
Yeah.
So for us to get qualified now, and hopefully we do get top 3 at the Olympia, because top 3 are qualified, along with the champions. So 2 opportunities, and also we still hadn't brought the look this year.
I was just gonna say, we didn't quite nail it this year just yet. So I think today is a good day to show that we nailed it. Can we say that?
Yeah. All right, so here we are at Prejudging. Footage is a little grainy. I wasn't very close. As you guys know, I don't I don't typically do a good job of getting footage on show day. I have a lot of just nerves. I'm just anxious. I want to see how everything goes. But yeah, so that's actually not terrible footage. But I'm very happy with the look. I mean, if you see when Daraja gets that long, drawn out tie-in looking very nice, hamstrings nice and tight, lower back is really one of the last places she tightens up, her core. So I was very happy with this look. Her shape of her glutes really matching the shape of her shoulders. I was very happy with this look, and that's her new step back move. And then we go into first call-outs, and not a big surprise. First call-outs was literally the 4 girls that were here that were already qualified for the Olympia. And, right away, I don't believe they moved anybody. I think they just kept everybody just like this. So, going into the show, I was pretty sure it was going to be between Daraja and Phoebe. I hadn't seen Phoebe in person since the Arnold. And at the Arnold, she did not look like this. This is by far the best she has ever looked. And she definitely was leaner than Daraja and a little bit tighter than Daraja. So, I was blown away about how good Phoebe looked, but that's what this job is. This is about coming to this show. And had we not come to this show and not seen this look, who knows what we would have done. And I'm going to explain literally what we do the day after the show to continue improving. But if you look at the shape, the one area that Daraja has her significantly beat is that upper glute and that front pose. And I think she has more of an S curve. She's a little more dense, right? Phoebe's just got such great lines, great shape, but just not as dense as Daraja. So on this day, after I watched this, I thought, you know what, it might be Phoebe's day. And the judges kind of confirmed this when they actually did. And this was an odd move, but I think they were trying to figure out who was 3 and 4 between Jess and I think her name is Maria, the Italian girl with the dark hair. They were trying to figure out 3, 4, so they moved out the top 2 just to compare them. But at finals, which they did finals right after this, they didn't really take a break. They kept Phoebe in the middle and they moved Jess and Daraja around her. So I kind of had an inkling that this was going to go Phoebe's way, and nothing wrong with that because the feedback we got was what allowed us to make significant improvements going into the Olympia. Had we come to the Olympia just like this, probably looking at 10th, right? 9th, maybe somewhere in that 8th position. But that's not what happened. So this is the call out I'm talking about. If you notice now, there's 6 girls. And if you look on the far left, I think that's Marina. She's making her pro debut. Met her at Nationals. She had just turned pro. Fantastic. And to get top 6 at your pro debut, nothing wrong with that. So now they moved Daraja into the middle. But Phoebe never moved. It was her day. It just, when you see a girl backstage that's that on, you just go, man, hats off. And that is my job to put my competitor in that position. And we did very soon after this. So, but Phoebe's someone that I love her YouTube videos. If you haven't watched her videos, she's very open, great personality, lovely to be around, someone it's easy to root for. So I really enjoy just being around Phoebe and seeing her look this good. How all these girls work so hard. So it's just so cool to see them in their moments and have their days. And this was definitely Phoebe's day. And then here they are calling out second place. And, all the pros know when they call out second, who's first. So there's Daraja giving her a big hug. So she gets a little money. We don't get the Olympia qualification for 2023 Olympia. That's, one of the reasons we were here. So now the job is to get better. And then I'll just go ahead and show you Phoebe winning. I believe this is her first pro win in the United States. I think she won the UK Arnold. Maybe she won a show here. I think it's her first win, though. But yeah, and here's another classy move, giving everybody a hug, including Jess. Jess is probably one of the nicest people you'll ever meet in the teal bikini, the blonde hair on the right. She got third. Look at her, just hugging everybody. But yeah, Phoebe, hats off. You nailed it. And literally the second we got off this stage, Daraja and I went and changed. It was Saturday, and we did cardio Saturday night, and we did cardio Sunday morning, and we did cardio Sunday night. And, actually I say we because I actually went and did the cardio with her, but we flew to Vegas on Sunday, went to the gym and did cardio. And this is actually Wednesday morning. I thought, hey, we'll go to Flex Lewis's gym Wednesday morning. Nobody will be there. False. Place was packed. But really the goal here was just get leaner. The feedback from the head judge was I just wanted to see her core a little bit tighter, which Daraja leans out a little bit differently than most of my competitors. Her glutes and hamstrings technically come in before her core. So this was her Wednesday posing. Now we had dropped nearly 2 pounds by this point, and she did drop 2 pounds by the next morning. So you can see just how much more detail is in her core, how much more detail is in her hip. Waist looks better. This is the posing room at the Dragon's Lair, which we were able to get into with the help of the staff there. They're super nice there. So I actually set up a session for the next day with all my competitors. So yeah, look at the detail. That was
building Jericho Kennedy with the Mr. Olympia. Yes, she is one of the best bikini competitors right now. Daraja Hill. Daraja, let's get down to business. Last year, you beat Lauralie Chapados and you beat Jennifer Dorie. Both of them were number 1 and 2 at the Mr. Olympia. What did you do in that occasion when you beat both of them, if I'm not mistaken?
That was kind of cool. They grabbed Daraja for an interview for the Olympia TV. This is actually the Amateur Olympia, which I was excited to film, but they didn't let me film, not even with my phone. So right here, dead center, in the blue suit, yep, looking good. That is my client, and she ended up getting a first call outs and placing 3rd at our first show together. Her name's Oksana, and yeah, she's just got a bright future. I told her if we had 3 more weeks of prep, she would be a pro. She is right there. Just need a little more time, but she's come out of the show already in a great spot for next year. So, and I didn't get to film any more of the show. Apologies, but I really wanted to show the Amateur Olympia. That was actually on a Tuesday. So this would have been Wednesday morning. So all the girls showing up, getting ready. It's Wednesday, and we are at the Dragon's Lair again. Lawna, Brittany, and Sally is somewhere running around. So this year I actually had 4 Olympians. So obviously the most I've ever had, because the most before that was 1. So we are multiplying. But Dragon's Lair is an incredible gym. It was just packed. I mean, literally, you had to wait for every single dumbbell, seat, machine. And this is Sally Ann Kato from Japan. She is the first Japanese Bikini Olympian. She won the Japan Pro the last 2 years. We've been working together for the latter half of this year. And, she and I are still like learning our cadences because, international coaching is unique. But man, you talk about fitting the criteria. She's got everything: muscle, conditioning, beauty, shape. And here's Brittany. She and I did a couple shows together this year, and then the last 3 shows she went second, first, second. So she's really put her name down as someone that when she shows up at a show, she's going to be in contention. And we were on for this show. Look at the glute hamstrings. This is when I got a little nervous for Lawna. Not for her conditioning, not for her muscularity, because those are both fantastic. But she hadn't put any tan on yet, and it's already Wednesday. But we worked it out. Her color actually takes it very well. And so the good news was we were right where we wanted to be, conditioning-wise. You see the tie-ins look sharp. And then fast forward a little bit. This is actually Thursday. This is Brett Contreras' gym. I was actually staying at Brett's house. So he's got an entire gym in his garage. Looks like a real gym because he's got all these lights and music, and you can't hear it, but great environment. So Daraja and I were kind of separated from the Olympia festivities until Thursday. Thursday is when all the stuff started happening, but it was really nice because she and I just went to the store. I did cardio with her. We went to a local gym to do our cardio sessions. I had Sally come out and train. Her husband's there filming. She came out to Brett's house to train. And, Brett's obviously the inventor of the barbell hip thrust. He has got a PhD in exercise science, so he knows more about glute training than just about anybody on this planet. So it's good to get him in here. All right, guys. Well, I don't have much voice left. It's already been a long couple of days with the expo and the bodybuilding show, but today is the big day. We are here at the Paris Hotel in Las Vegas. This is the host hotel for the competitors' rooms. So I'm gonna go see Lawna, Brittany, Daraja. I saw Sally last night. And then we're gonna head over to the expo at the Venetian. So I'm gonna show you some of the finishing touches. I'm gonna check out Lawna. Big focus with her right now is her tan. Brittany, see how she's feeling food-wise. And Daraja, we're gonna go see her finish up her makeup. And yeah, see the girls. And prejudging is supposed to start about 1 p.m. our time. and then we'll see who goes to finals. Only the top 10 go to finals, so it's going to be a interesting morning. 57 qualified Bikini Olympia competitors, and we got the Fab Four, hoping to hold down a few of those top spots. So I'm excited to see the girls. They all look the best they've ever looked, which is very exciting for me as a coach, because now it's just up to the judges and whoever else shows up. All right, talk soon. Go ahead, transition. Lower back looks tight, right where we want to be. Yeah, so the glutes look a little flat, and I think I saw you yesterday after you trained them a little bit, right? Mm-hmm. So today we need to just make sure we get a good little pump before you go. And back to front. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, I like that. Is your suit loose now?
Yeah, a little bit.
Is your waist down?
No, it's the same.
Your lower back is tight. It looks smaller. Dude, how do we do it again like this? All right, guys, so obviously I was very happy with how all the girls were looking, and this is a cool moment, you know. So the Olympia is back in Vegas, so, you know, as a sponsor, you know, I'm become friends with Dan Solomon over the last couple of years and love being involved. We have a booth at the Olympia. You know, we just have a presence there, and it just feels good to be a part of something that only a few years ago, you know, this is only my third year being a coach at the Olympia, my third year, right? And so it's just cool to kind of grow with the sport, be a part of the positive changes that are happening, see ourselves here, have people come visit us at the booth, and just meet with everybody. So if you are ever around one of these Olympias, it's just so worth it just to come say hi and meet everybody. It really makes my day when people come over and say they either watch the YouTube channel or they follow my athletes or follow whatever it is. You know, the impact that we're having is so positive right now. And, you know, having one of the top competitors in the world is no accident, you know, like this is an evolution. And only a couple of years ago, I had no competitors at the Olympia. And now I have 4. You know, we had our most pro cards ever this year with 10, you know, so we're just doing a lot of the right things in the sport, doing things the right way, making competitors not only better athletes on stage, but off. And this is just a cool moment. I mean, this guy's impact, you know, we're witnessing basically the Arnold Schwarzenegger effect. This guy's impact on the sport. You know, I can only imagine how much the sport changed in all those years with Arnold. But this guy brings out a crowd, man. Like, his following is so loyal. He's just such a great physique, a great person, a great ambassador for this sport. So, and, you know, I've seen him at a lot of shows. I've never seen him look this good. This is the best he ever looked. He looked amazing. I kept thinking, like, man, I'd really like to see what he looks like standing next to an open competitor. I know, you know, he's, you know, taller and doesn't weigh as much, but man, his lines and his conditioning were just A+. Here's a little taste of the expo, you know, all the competitors getting ready to go backstage for prejudging. I bought all the girls these jackets, got them customized with our logo and their name. And here we are having some fun, guys. And this is where it all gets nervous for Coach Paul. After watching the men's physique and the classic physique, pro bikini did not go on until about 1. And this is what's called groups. The first thing that happens at a show like this, they bring everybody out in groups. There were 54 competitors, so I believe they did groups of 8. So every group was just stacked. I mean, look at this group. Lauralie Chapados and Amy, who got 6th, and then you got Lawna Dunbar right there. Every group was stacked. Every group was like a pro show. It's just crazy. Now, specifically, the first couple were really stacked. There's Eli Fernandez. Man, just everywhere, you know, obviously you see these groups, you just go, oh, that girl's won a bunch of shows. That girl's won a bunch of shows. So now there's Brittany, 3rd from the left, and there's Daraja all the way on the right, and there's Phoebe, who just beat Daraja, you know. So one of my goals was like, okay, I'd like to get back ahead of Phoebe. Little did we know, Phoebe was going to have one heck of a day. But there we go. And I thought Brittany looked fantastic as well. So, yeah, but these groups that they're coming out in, crazy. And then after each group, what they'll do, they'll go backstage and they got to wait around again. Look at this group. Sally is in the group with Ashley Kaltwasser and Janet Leug. I mean, what do you got, like 4 Olympia titles in this group alone? Yeah, just pretty cool to see. So, and I was very happy with Sally fitting in the criteria. The one thing you worry about is like, okay, the judges are obviously going to be looking for Ashley, looking for Janet. Are they going to notice someone like Sally? And she did not get into I think she was in 5th call out, so she did not stand out enough at her first Olympia, but she's got a long ways to go. I mean, yeah, what a group. You had 2 of the top 10 in here with Ashley and Janet, and that was it. Lucia actually was in that group, and she's usually a fantastic competitor, but I believe she was in like 4th or 5th call-outs. She dropped this year. I didn't get her feedback. I'm kind of chatty with her. She's a nice girl. And then we've got Miss Lawna Dunbar coming out for the individuals. So they did give us, oh, look, our logo's on the screen there. They did give the competitors a notice of about 45 seconds for routines, which honestly, that's a long time. You know, typically it's a minute or so, but these girls are such pros. If you want them to cut 15 seconds off a routine, they just take a few steps out here. You know, the difference between a pro and an amateur is the amateur girls are literally doing their routine until they get it right. These girls do their routine so often, they cannot get it wrong, right? So they're so comfortable in their routines. And then we got Brittany Hamilton. Now, this is also her Olympia debut. Now, she won the San Antonio Pro this year to get qualified. And then she placed second at 2 other shows. And we've already got plans for early 2023. She's just now coming into her own. This was her first year as a competitor, actually placing at a pro show. And she's gotten some really good feedback. So I think, she's going to be someone that she and I are going to work very hard to get into that top 10, maybe even higher next year at the Olympia. She's just got to continue to refine. She's a very, very good competitor and an even better person. So she's been a pleasure to get to know this year, and she's going to be doing some things with Pro Physique as well. And then perhaps Daraja's, she does so many things well, but her posing routine, her stage presence, I guess it's hard to know unless you're there in person, but some girls perform their routine and some girls perform. And Daraja is a performer. Like, she literally takes every step, every shoulder shimmy, every eye look very seriously. This routine is so refined. She does it so well. She takes a few key moments. You see these are poses. If you think of this as a photo shoot, every pose you hit is a photo shoot, and she really treats it like that. She even added a new sign-off pose. So that used to be her sign-off. Now she switches to the other side, pushes into that hip, and I love that detail. So yeah, now this is where I start to get nervous, because I'm wondering, okay, is she going to be in that top group? And this is Sally, all the way from Japan. Fantastic shape, fantastic competitor. I think a little more size, right? And just a little more conditioning. And she is going to be someone that is also able to fight for that top 10. She fits the criteria extremely well, especially when you see that the winner this year was Maureen. I think that gave all the short girls hope, right? All the 5'1", 5'2" girls are going, okay, because there's some years where it's like Janet and Lauralie, and you go, okay, do you have to be 5'6", 5'7" to win the Olympia? So, no, every body has a different standard. Now, I didn't get all of the initial call-outs, but I'm giving you the last one, the only one that matters. The last call-out of the day. That's right, Daraja was in the first call-out. She got moved into the top 5, wasn't sure where she landed, and then they called out the final 4. So this is the final 4 of the day. And you've got Ashley Kaltwasser with 3 Olympia wins, Jennifer Dorie with 2 Olympia wins, and then they move Maureen to the center. And guess what? She's going to win this Olympia. So everyone up there has an Olympia win but Daraja at this point. So for Daraja's 3rd Olympia, this is sweet. This is victory for us. To beat every single competitor that beat her this year, except for Ashley Kaltwasser, yeah, it felt good, because we knew what her physique was capable of. And, we recorded a podcast where we discussed a lot of the things we went through, hormonally speaking, obviously the wedding stuff that she planned her year around. But this girl is just so focused. And this was an odd move. I didn't know what this meant. They moved 3 and 4 to the other side. I later come to realize I thought that meant that Maureen was winning, because I thought this meant Daraja was in third, right? Because if you go with Jen winning, who looked incredible, I thought it was the best I've ever seen her look. She's the champ. She's coming back. If Jen's winning and Maureen's 2, then you go over to Daraja for 3 and Ashley for 4. But if Maureen's winning, which she was, and we didn't know it at the time, I think everybody in the bikini world said, okay, Jen came back, best she's ever looked, her show. Who's fighting for second? And it even looked that way between Ashley and Maureen kind of splitting. But that was it. For me, this was the whole year. Just seeing Daraja in the Final Four after getting 6th last year, getting into that top 5 was a big deal for us, because there's a lot of things that go along with that. Not only do you win some money, but you get in that top 5 picture. And for the whole year, you get to be a part of that conversation. And 6th, you're just outside of it, right? So, and you just want feedback that you're improving. And this is us at the bikini booth. This is Luis shooting pictures of the girls. I got them all these custom jackets that you see them wearing. So all 4 of my girls got Olympia jackets with our logo and their names. There they are. So just having a good time. I mean, this was after prejudging. Everybody was in a good mood. This was a pretty cool moment. We go to finals, and they're playing our commercial. So one of the benefits of being a sponsor of the Olympia, they let us have a commercial play. There's Miss Kathy. So it's cool, little platform for Pro Physique, show all the good things that we're doing, winning overalls, winning pro cards, keeping girls healthy and happy, not only doing things evidence-based, but also winning at the highest levels of the sport, and then we get started for finals. And I was hoping they would be looking at these girls a little bit closely, because I thought Daraja looked insane at finals. Obviously a different stage. I have a different vantage point, but when she turned to the back, I thought Daraja's glutes have gotten bigger and tighter. Look at that. I was, like, man, please be judging this. I don't know what they were doing. I don't know that they judged them. This was a pretty brief moment. They brought the bikini girls out first on Saturday Night Finals, but look at the depth of Daraja's glutes. Wow. And I don't think that they were really doing too much judging right here. They're just confirming the scores. It's only been maybe 6 hours, but they brought them out for this confirmation, and then they did not bring them back out for awards for a few, I want to say hours. But just look at the people that aren't in that top 5. It's crazy.
Please welcome from the USA, Daraja Hill.
Let's go, Daraja! As you can hear, voice gone, but this is the biggest stage, and as you heard Daraja say, when you make 13th at the Olympia like she did at her debut and you don't get to come to finals, this is a big moment. Just getting to finals, the top 10 in the world, getting to come out and actually do their routines for the entire audience. About 8,000 people in this auditorium. It's called the Zappos Theater. I think it's where Chris Angel does his show. But the beauty of seeing her up there is like confirming, okay, all the decisions that we made this year, right? She didn't have the momentum of the year before. She didn't have this where everyone thought she was going to be in that top 4, top 5. But she and I both knew, based on the judges' feedback and based on what she was capable of, that that's where we were going to be if we brought the physique that they wanted. And that's what it came down to. Getting the feedback from the week before to get tighter, it put us in a position to get offensive. We really got aggressive. Saturday night after the show, Sunday after the show, Monday, Tuesday, we grinded and dropped 2 pounds of body fat and really just changed the ability for us to peak. We were able to be more aggressive with food. And here's Lauralie, who is just one of my, good friends in this sport, someone I look up to, I admire. I still think she's got an Olympia title in her. I don't know what her feedback was. Honestly, my seats were not good enough at prejudging to see that how off she was or what moved her down. It was a little shocking for me that she was not in the middle. But, I haven't had a chat with her since, honestly. Once the Olympia is over, I just wanted to move on and do other things with the family. But I will get to sit down and chat with all these women. But, we weren't sure if Daraja was 4th or 3rd. We were thinking 3rd based on how they moved people. But as soon as they put her in 4th, I thought, okay. Now, the bummer there is that she doesn't already qualify for the next Olympia. That's the benefit of being 3rd. But still, 4th, moving up 2 positions in the world, 4th in the world, we were very, very happy on cloud 9 with this. But it also got me thinking right away, that really tells me that potentially Maureen's going to win based on how they were standing, because I assumed Daraja was third because of how they were standing. That would mean that this was about to happen. So,
And new bikini winner, Maureen Blanquisco.
this is actually another cool sign. You know, seeing Maureen, who last year got 4th at the Olympia, win it this year. Well, Daraja just got 4th. You know, so you're always just looking for some positive signs. And then Maureen, you know, went on to get 2nd to Lauralie at the Arnold, and then she won the Boston Pro to get requalified, and she took some time off. And that's what Daraja and I are going to do. We're going to focus on giving her body a break. She's got no wedding this year. Our focus is going to be bring her back and bring a physique that the league has never seen before, the judges have never seen before. Fuller, tighter, and really just continue to push and evolve. You know, the real benefit of being a coach that's still learning and growing in this sport and just having competitors consistently moving up the rankings is that I'm learning along with them, right? This is my first time ever having a competitor at the top 5 at the Olympia, right? So I'm just hitting all these milestones, and it feels really good to end the year on the biggest note. You know, and now Daraja is actually leaving. Well, as I'm recording this, I think she's leaving today for her honeymoon. But look at this top 5 picture. I mean, if you'd have told me before the Olympia we were going to beat people like Issa and Janet and Lauralie, I would have said, wow, that, you know, not unexpected, but very exciting. And congrats to Phoebe, who actually took 7th. So she ended the year well, too.